This episode of the Date Podcast is sponsored by Bopsy. Meet up to 6 people over mobile video. It's video speed dating. Download Bopsy in the Google Play Store or iTunes. Check out bopsy.com. Hey everyone, it's Zorric.
And Emma.
Hosts of the Date Podcast, and we're so excited to do another show for you. We have an important topic to discuss today.
Ooh.
How, Emma, should you act on a first date?
I have lots of thoughts about this.
Oh, you do?
I do.
We're excited to hear about that. So
Yes.
we'll talk about that. But first,
We'd like to ask you for your help. So we are a brand new podcast. We are now available on iTunes and Google Play. So if you like what you hear, we ask that you subscribe to our podcast and leave a review. And then also tell your friends about the podcast. We appreciate the feedback and support.
all right, so now to the fun stuff. We found an article called 17 First Date Etiquette Rules Everyone Should Follow, none of which involve being proper. And this is by Amanda Chattel. So before we get into this, Emma, what are your top 3 things? Like, not even looking at this, like top 3 things. Like, what should you do?
Be on time.
Bam.
Cell phone away.
Bam.
Engage in conversation.
Oh my gosh, you should have written this article because you're right on target. So
Bam.
number 1 says,
I'm really good about telling people how to live their life. I just can't do it myself.
Guys, she tells me this all the time, right? Do this, do that. No, but it's great. Great information. Emma is a wealth or an encyclopedia of how to live successfully. But okay, the first one says, always make an effort to be on time. Because
Yes.
that's so important, because first of all, it's the first time you're going to meet this person. And, you know, I have a lot of friends who are like, you know, I'm always late, I'm always late in this.
I don't like this colored people time, the Hispanic people time. I don't care.
We have every race.
I'm Hispanic. I don't care.
Every race has their own time. I think that some people are just better at managing their time than others. It has nothing to do with that.
No,
Right?
I lie to my family members, and they caught on. So my aunt has learned the very difficult way
Yeah.
that if I say you need to be there at 3:00,
Uh-huh.
you need to be there at 2:55.
Oh, yeah.
She has learned.
Yeah.
I don't have to lie to her anymore.
But that's good. That's good, because I think it's a habit. People get into this habit of always being late, and they think it's
Yes.
okay.
No.
And I think people enable them.
Yes.
Yeah. Whenever some of our friends late, I'm like, hey man, like we're like 30 minutes late. We should have been on time. But
Well, I'm ordering without you.
yeah, and I'm actually done, and I'm going home. So
Yep.
bye. But think about it maybe from the other person's perspective. So as a man, I'm there typically, 5 to 10 minutes beforehand, and I'm either standing outside or sitting at the bar. Well, if you're 10 minutes late, 30 minutes late, whatever it is, I'm sitting by myself at the bar. And all these thoughts, we talk about thoughts, are going through my mind. And so I think the number one thing is tell the person if you're going to be late, or maybe if there's a chance that you can be late, let them know like right away.
Right. And hello, a lot of cars have Bluetooth capability now, so you can call the person and let them know. Because I totally believe that we live in DFW. Accidents can happen. Traffic can happen. Highways can be closed down.
Yeah.
It happens. Just let the other person know. Just be thoughtful about it.
And when I'm sitting at the bar, I'm like, I just whitened my teeth tonight for her, and she may or may not show up.
Ross.
Yeah. She's just like, where is she? I just bought a new t-shirt.
Are you sure she didn't see your teeth?
Maybe she
from
did.
far away.
She did. She was like, oh, he's the different white strips. I don't like those white strips.
Because his teeth are neon blue.
But yeah, it's just being late is not cool, everyone. Be on time. Let people know that you're going to be late if you are late. And you know what? We as humans, are forgiving, if you're honest.
Yes.
Very forgiving.
This is true.
Yeah.
But don't lie, pretending to be honest either.
Yeah. Yeah. That's you're honest, but you're not honest. Who knows now? This second one is very important to me. Put that stinking phone away. Turn it off.
No, yeah.
Turn off your notifications. This is a first date. And you know what? You should be focusing on your partner or whoever you're talking to, because it's very rude, I think, when you're talking and then your date's genuine ringtone starts playing.
Pony.
I'm just a bad, whatever. And that's very rude. So everyone put it away. I mean, what are your thoughts,
rude.
Emma?
And then, take off that annoying function where your flashlight flashes when you get a text.
That's a generational thing.
It's so annoying.
It's loud. It's light. It's bright.
It is.
It's like, bam, bam.
Yeah, no, it is loud.
Yeah.
It is non-visually loud.
Yeah, yeah. So
Or it is visually loud. Sorry, not non-auditory loud.
There we go. She corrected it. But I think even if your phone is on the table, that's even a little...
I don't like that. Yeah. I always have a purse, and I always put my phone in my purse. Mm-hmm. And I put it on Do Not Disturb because I don't want it vibrating.
Yeah.
Because like our brains, we've wired ourselves again. We hear our phone ring or vibrate, and we're like, we want to see what's going on.
Yeah.
So to prevent that from happening, just put it on Do Not Disturb.
Yeah, and it's so hard because I think a friend of mine, she was reading this book about checking your phone, Kelsey, if you're out there, and you were telling me that people check their phone like 100 times plus per day.
Oh my!
And that's why it's so hard for us to detach from our phones, because
it's become a habit.
Yeah, every few minutes you're checking your phone. Oh, my phone, it's vibrating, this and that.
And you have the phantom vibrations now too.
Oh yeah.
Where you think your phone is vibrating,
but you're just butt's itchy or something. No. Or you like farted, but it's my phone.
Oh my gosh! Really? We're not going to talk about bodily functions right now.
Okay. So disable your notifications, turn off the vibration, turn the phone off, or maybe you can leave it at home or in the car.
I do like that the only time it is appropriate for you to have your phone at the table or on is if your best friend is giving birth or another dire emergency.
Yeah.
But then my little brain is like, well, if your best friend's about to give birth, or there's going to be an emergency, why did you schedule the date?
Yeah, duh. I mean, shouldn't you be with your friend at this moment while she's like screaming her head off?
Waiting for her to be... I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So these first two, they're very important to me.
Yes.
The third is dates are just freaking awkward.
Everything's awkward.
Everything is awkward because you know why? Because everything new is awkward.
Yes.
Because it's different. It's you're out of your
taking you out of your comfort
level.
zone. Yeah.
Yeah, and so we just have to acknowledge this, that there's going to be some silence.
And be okay with the awkward silence.
Yeah.
We can't do that here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yes. Uh-huh.
No, do you? Yeah, just sit in the awkward silence. It's okay.
Yeah.
We can't do it on air. It doesn't work if we do it on air.
I'm like, oh my gosh, I should say something. But silence is golden sometimes. Sometimes you've been talking for a good 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and sometimes your brains need to reset for something.
They need to process the information.
Yeah. And then, so if there is this pregnant silence, which they refer to, or people call it a pregnant pause or pregnant something, but there is no silence in pregnancy. I just realized that. There's just a lot of commotion.
That's a weird phrase.
Yeah.
That's an odd phrase.
I wouldn't put those two together.
I just call it awkward silence.
Awkward silence sounds good. But, just be funny about it. Say, wow, so this is awkward. I'm sure there will be even more awkward silences to come.
I gotta say, though, as a therapist, I'm used to awkward silence. So a lot of times if my patients or my groups are silent, I just sit there and I'm showing Zorric, I put my head to the side just a little bit and I just stare.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I do. So I'm not too afraid of the awkward silence.
Yeah.
So I just have to remember, you're not in therapy.
Yeah. You're not. And it's also a negotiation tactic too. Sometimes you just like you say a statement or you say a question or ask a question and you just sit there.
Yeah, Michael
wait.
Scott taught us that in The Office.
Oh, he did? I read a book about it. Not on The Office. So, guys and gals, awkwardness is part of it, so accept it. And who knows, something can come about it that's beautiful, but started awkward. So,
Yes.
number 4 is definitely important. Honesty is the best policy. So,
I'm a little torn on this one.
okay, well, these are my thoughts. Well, first of all, if you're on an online dating app, there's 2 options, or 2 trains of thoughts. I want to hook up, or I want a relationship. But we know, Emma, by statistics, that 60 or 70% of people on these apps want to find somebody, and Tinder, Bumble, and all that, they've been kind of put in this bucket where people hook up, whatever.
Right.
But anyways, so you could be on a date with someone who's on the 40% side or the 60% side. So I think both sides should definitely clear the air. So
yes, for sure. But my thing, like, let's say the person, the guy that I'm dating, in the very awkward first date, tells me that he just wants a hookup versus like that's not what I want, or just tells me that he's just here to date around and I'm looking for a more serious relationship. Like, there are times when I will like fall into peer pressure about that. So if I really like the guy, I might just be like, I'm here to date around too. Mm-hmm.
Oh, you chameleon. Yeah, that makes sense.
Because if I'm like
though.
really attracted to the guy, I'm like, I would like to keep him around a little longer, because maybe if he is around a little longer, I might change his mind. And practical me would tell myself, no, you're being dumb. But in the moment, that's my conversation.
Yeah, or
with myself.
Maybe you date him for a month or 2, and then he gets to that point where, I'm ready.
Right.
Like, let's stop this train, let's stop this party, and let's get serious. So you never know, and that's a good tactic. But for me, I would say just be honest. And hopefully things work out. So the next is come clean about your circumstances. So crap happens.
Yes.
And you lose your job. Sometimes you have to live with people temporarily, or your parents, or maybe you don't have a car right now because of whatever financial issue. Be honest about it. Come clean.
Right. But nope, no buts. However, as much as it is becoming normalized for us to move back in with our parents because of whatever reason that you have, I still, for me personally, it still feels like, oh my gosh, I just moved back in with my parents. It's very like it makes me cringe to know that has happened.
Yeah.
Or that could happen or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I think that's just like my own issues with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think as a man, I think if you are at home, then you're probably having some sort of financial thing or job thing, which is cool. Right. But I would say focus on yourself first before you get out there.
Right.
I know it gets lonely sometimes, but when you're your better self, whether it is, maybe you stay home and go to school for a little bit.
Right.
But whenever you better yourself, you are a much better package to that person you're going to meet,
mm-hmm.
right? And you attract whatever you're striving for, right? The attraction thing. So, but come clean. Again, this is similar to the last thing. Just be honest, right? Because it might cause an issue in the future. Like, she's like, well, let's go to your place. And I'm like, well, see, what had happened was, and you go into the story and she's like, well, why didn't you tell me in the first place?
Right.
And then also, so how would you feel though if the guy like kept it from you?
I would be like, all right, well, I'm going to go home. And then on my drive home, I might text my sister or my good friends. Date went really well. He lives at home and decided to tell me this at the end of the date. So I don't know how I feel about this right now.
And then your friend or sister would be like, winner. Not. But yeah, just be honest, because you never know. You never know.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And another thing is, Emma, don't judge.
I know. No.
Stop judging. Be open. Keep your mind open. Be a sponge, because maybe there's something that you thought.
Hey, I just want to point out that this article does say that judging is totally normal.
It's normal. Fine. But maybe don't judge too hard. You know, like.
I really do try not to judge. I really do.
Okay. Well, maybe.
It's one of the things that I'm working on. So thank you for calling me out on it further.
So your next date, don't judge.
Right.
Too hard, at least. Keep an open mind.
And I have a really amazing friend. She knows who she is, who always reminds me to stop being judgmental and just to be open. She has to remind me because I will get stuck in my judgmental mind.
Yeah. And then what happens when you're judgmental? Then you shut down and you disqualify the person.
And, you know, I've met a lot of people that once I've let go of my judgments, it's been wonderful.
Yeah.
So
it's not good. The next here is, Emma, look at me. Look into my eyes. Deep into my eyes. Make eye contact.
I am making eye contact with you.
We'll make eye contact at the date.
Oh,
in
right.
The date.
Okay.
Yeah. Be in the mindfulness. Be in the moment, because one of my pet peeves is someone. Emma, what are you looking at? I want to date. Focus. I'm on a date, and someone, you know, they see they're distracted and whatever. I know, you know, you can get distracted, but it kind of shows the other person or me, the speaker, that you don't give a poop.
What if I'm eating my food?
Well, look down. But yeah, I shouldn't look at you while you're like. You should not look at a lady while she's taking a massive bite.
Heck no.
Of
you stare at your food, I'll stare at my food. I'm enjoying my food. I'm having like a whole experience with my meal right now. Allow me to be with my meal.
Gotcha. And silence is okay, right?
Huh?
Silence is okay.
Yeah, silence is okay.
Yeah.
While you're eating, silence is okay.
And like I'm eating, and then that's okay. Eye contact is important to me, so, and important to this writer as well. Emma, listen to me.
I am listening to you,
Okay.
Zorric. Would you like me to repeat what you're saying?
No,
Okay.
but I'm just saying, listen to what your date is saying.
Yes.
Listen to me, because most of the time when people are talking to you, the other person or you are just queuing up what I'm going to say, basically, right?
Or you're probably thinking of like what response or what funny story that you have in relation to that.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's not really an organic conversation. It's planned, and it's probably going to be a little bit more awkward.
Yeah. And our brains, our brains are wonderful. But as you're speaking to me and I'm formulating something, I can't do all these things at one time.
No.
And I'm not going to, you're telling me your greatest achievements in your life.
And you're totally ignoring me.
And I'm going to bring up the Cowboys or something. So it's not good. So listen to what they're saying. And
exactly.
then when you listen, please ask questions.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Because it first of all, it validates that, I did hear what you were saying. And on top of that, I'm interested in what you're saying. So let's go deeper. So there's a lot of questions you can ask. You can ask for more detail or maybe something related to it. But stay on topic.
This is a therapeutic skill that we use with patients and in counseling. We call it reflective listening, where you make eye contact, you hear what the other person is saying, and then you repeat it.
Oh, okay. That sounds like a thing we should use on our dates.
Yes.
Just stare.
This is a skill we teach people.
I'm trying not to break eye contact with Emma right now. Don't make it creepy like this, because we're just.
I know we're more like having a staring contest at this point. Like, who's gonna blink first?
I know.
Not me.
So as we're listening to each other and keeping our eyes open, and we're trying also to be open at the same time.
Yes.
So that's the next thing.
I appreciate you being open with me, Zorric.
Okay. I appreciate you being open with me too, but I'd like you to open up more. Tell me your deepest, darkest secret. But yeah, be open-minded enough to give them a shot, And if let's say you like this and I like
love
that.
country music.
I like country music.
Okay.
A little bit.
Cool.
Um,
Do you listen to Spanish music? Because that's something that I do, and I'm always hesitant to share that.
are there subtitles to this?
Not to Spanish music, no.
Translation?
No.
Okay. Well, I don't. But I like the melody. But anyway, so if we don't listen to the same music, stay open-minded because
It's okay.
opposites can attract, you know? So that's...
And just because I didn't vote for the president that you wanted to win doesn't mean anything either.
It doesn't, even
No.
though it does to so many people nowadays.
Yes,
Oh my
now it
gosh.
does.
Yeah. And another thing is, if a guy asked you, Emma, hey, let's just walk out of this diner without paying, what would you do?
No.
There you go. Don't get out of your comfort zone. If they ask you to do something crazy like that, don't do it. You can say no. It's fine.
Don't do shots on a first date either. Like,
Well, it depends. If you're not a short person, then maybe not.
yeah. I mean, yeah. Don't stray out of your comfort zone. Like, I think there's times when, like, you can be open-minded and you can try different things, but there's a difference if you sort of feel like peer pressure to do something.
Yeah. That's out of your comfort zone. Yeah. You don't want to be forced to do something like shots or body shots or...
Oh my gosh. On the first date.
or even just going to his house or her house. You know, it should be
Right.
organic, right?
Yeah.
Don't let that happen. How many times do you talk about your ex on a first date?
Not often.
Not
I'm going to
often.
say it's more in the 20% range and lower, and 20% is pretty high.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think it's okay to bring up maybe, hey, you know, what happened to your last relationship or...
On the
know.
first date?
Yeah, I think it's okay.
Okay.
But the thing is, don't get too deep in the weeds. You know, maybe ask about, hey, how long have you been single, or just kind of like the surface level things. So you're not getting too deep. And then because when you get too deep, your date kind of, I think feelings come back.
Feelings come back.
Yeah.
You might regress a little bit.
Mhm.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That date's not going to end well.
And you might...
You might end up in tears.
Oh, she might realize, oh, I still love him. You're like, oh my gosh, I just did that. So another thing is disclose if you're not emotionally unavailable.
My point for this one is, then why are you on dating apps if you're not emotionally available? What is the end game here?
Sleep with you.
Well, then bye.
It's the honesty thing again, right? Because again, I think most people are on these apps to meet somebody, but there's quite a bit of people who don't. So if you're on the rebound, or if you have no interest, maybe you just want a free dinner or free lunch, then I think you should be honest about that. Even though it's so hard to be honest nowadays, you know. So be available,
Yes.
not available.
Right.
Yeah, honesty again. Another thing is never feel like you have to justify your beliefs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a tricky one. This is why I stray from political conversations the first few dates, because, and even with my job, I try to stray away from it just a little bit because of just the belief system that comes with my political views and kind of like what I do. Because then I there are times when I keep getting asked questions about what I do, and it's sort of like I'll stay surface level with it. But the moment that it, like, they try to go down to like a deeper level, I'm like, no, I can't do this because I don't want to feel like you're interrogating me about this.
Yeah, and then they're like, why? Why are you like this?
And then they get defensive.
Yeah, and why don't you think like I think? Why don't you believe in what I believe? Why aren't you my political affiliation or my religion
Right.
or my whatever it may be? But I think the beliefs thing, I think the religion thing, I think politics, it should be at least 3 or 4 dates down the road.
Yes.
To me.
Mm-hmm.
To me. Because it's so heated nowadays, and really, values kind of stem from your political beliefs and your religious beliefs, but I feel like there are ways you can figure that out without getting heated.
Right.
And because I feel like when it says here justify, I feel like it's like a back and forth type, maybe not an argument, but maybe just a discussion.
Like you're defending what your thought process is.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, who wants to really do that on a first date?
Yeah. So, Emma,
Yes.
you followed every rule, and the date is over. The check comes. Do you grab it?
I will offer. If they reject, then I will let it be.
But you just let it be. You don't do anything else.
I offer, reject, let it be.
Good. Because that's one of the recommendations here.
Yep.
It's offer and just let it be, because if you keep
Then it's
bickering
awkward
over
again.
it, then it's like it maybe it ended on a high, and now, oh my gosh, it's about to go down. It's gonna crater.
He's not gonna call you back.
Yeah, because first of all, as a Southern gentleman, we always pay for the first date,
Which is beautiful.
I don't think I've ever been on a date where I have not paid for the first or second or third. But still,
Yeah.
but the thing is, like, I think once you get into a more serious relationship, I think then it's fine to, split the check or whatever. But a lot of people have totally different views. That's just my view.
Yes.
Yeah. So don't fight over it. And it's okay if it's not working out, then don't be afraid to cut the night short.
If he asks, or if whomever asks to go out for more drinks, it's okay to say no, thank you. I would like to go home.
Yeah, or if maybe you had a great time, but it's late, or I have a meeting in the morning at 8:00, or I have to prepare, or I have to, wash my laundry, or I have dogs that need to go out and pee. Like, it's okay because you'll have more time. You'll have a hopefully second date, so don't be afraid.
Right.
So, Emma, what's the takeaway here?
Number one for me is that I was right about a lot of things.
Oh, of course.
Making an effort, putting your phone away, and engaging. I was right about that.
Great.
I guess one of the things that I learned from you, Zorric, is that I need to be less judgmental and more open-minded. So thanks, Mom. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
What did you learn, Zorric?
I learned that awkwardness. I feel like I'm awkward a lot. Well, I just feel it inside. But the whole silence thing. Never. The whole silence thing, I feel like sometimes, you get into this thing where it's quiet. So I'm like, oh, I got to say something. But sometimes
And you don't. You don't have to fill the
say anything.
silence.
And just kind of let it organically start up again.
Right.
Organically.
Because it will.
Yeah. So, all right, everyone. That's all we have for today. We hope you enjoyed the show. If you have any questions, comments, show topics you'd like for us to discuss, you can drop us a note at hello@datepodcast.com or on @datepodcast on Instagram and Twitter. All right, everyone. Bye.
Bye.